Hey, we're live! What is up?
Hi,
everybody? It has been so long. Oh my gosh. Hi. This is so crazy. I'm so happy to see you all. And I think we already have some people on the chat. Hello to...
Oh my God!
And I think we have people on the chat. Hello to Kim. And hello to June. It's June.
Hi, June.
I love this so
Welcome
much. Oh my gosh. And yes, hi everybody. This is so crazy. Oh, we have who else? Monica. Monica's here. Monica,
Hi, Monica.
Oh my gosh. Okay, this is so fun. I am so happy to see you, especially Kim, because you weren't with us in the last one. So it's like so lovely to see you this time. Yeah, so this is... Oh wait, there's more people. Melissa, what up? Melissa, what up? The other MVP who's here in the live stream. And one more, Danielle. Hey, what up? This is so fun. Hi, everybody. Anyway. Okay, cool. So today we are going to be discussing the lovely book They Never Learn by Layne Fargo, and we read the book and we have thoughts on the book and we cannot wait to hear your thoughts on the book. And Luche's spoiling her thoughts because she's applauding, and we know what happens when you applaud. All right, so we should just dive in, right?
Yeah, go.
So introduction, say who you are and what you're drinking. I will start with Luche because I think we did Marina last time. Go forth.
Hi, everyone. I'm Luche and I'm drinking apple juice.
Drinking apple juice. We love it. Okay, let's do Ava because, yeah, go ahead.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back. Right now, I've started drinking pink lemonade.
Pink lemonade. Can you tell that we are like trying to use like some euphemisms because like apparently we can't say labels on here because then the algorithm's gonna like yank us off, so like the replay won't get promoted. Anyway, Marina, what is up with you? What you drinking?
I'm a good girl today. I'm just drinking iced coffee with a little bit of vanilla. That's it.
A little bit of vanilla. Okay. Hi. I, on the other hand, am drinking some grape juice, some very darkly colored grape juice with some sparkling water. So yeah, cheers, everybody. Come on. We haven't done this in so long. All right. Let's get to some chats. We have Monica saying this chat is full. June saying she's excited.
Yeah.
You should be excited. And we have
so
Monica saying, I'm not drinking. It's 11 a.m. in Buenos Aires. A little too early to start drinking. Hey, we don't judge here. We don't judge here at all.
So, just to point out, it's already 10:30 p.m. here at our time zone. So, take that as a...
10:30 p.m. GMT. So this is happy hour, all right? All hours are happy hour. Anyway, yeah, let's start. Guys, what did you think of this book? I think we all have the same rating for it.
Yeah, we do.
Did I count? Okay, 3, 2, 1. 5 stars.
Perfect score for me.
Oh, this is so
Oh my God.
But here's the thing. I have a lot of thoughts about... Well, anyway, like always, I have a lot of thoughts about this because it's not a 5 that means like perfect. It's like a perfect book for me. But I really had so much fun reading it.
I know.
Yeah, actually.
Ava, you finished this book just this morning. That's incredible.
Yeah,
Like sorry.
you could nitpick at it all you want, like from a literary like standpoint, from English standpoint or whatever. But I really enjoyed it. So 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everybody else in the chat, let us know what you gave it. Kim, 5 stars. Epic.
Right? No, but this feels like a Tarantino film, flick.
Actually,
Yes.
maybe he would be a good director for this.
Anyway, later we'll be talking more about it. But then, like, just a way to ease everyone in. That's how I felt. I personally felt about the book. Like, I give it a 5 stars. I do acknowledge that it's not, like Marina had mentioned, it's not a literary masterpiece.
Yeah, this isn't like War and Peace or Crime and Punishment. Like, this is
It's not classic.
very
It's gonna go down.
and it doesn't seem to be those books. But for what it sets out to accomplish, oh my gosh, flying colors, honestly. All right, so Kim, 5 stars, and hi Belle, hello. I'm drinking my morning
Hi,
coffee. It's
Belle.
7:40 in the morning. Thanks for getting up for us. Oh my gosh, it's so early. I am not a morning person. Yeah,
Thank you
so
for joining us so early.
thank
I'm also
you.
drinking coffee, so yes.
I'm also drinking my coffee.
Okay, so Belle gives it 4 stars, and
Yeah.
Monica gives it 4 stars as well. Now Kim says, "I loved it so much that I immediately bought her other book, Temper. You guys, we should read that book too. That
We
sounds
should
really
read
We have
good."
them.
another book.
I'm so
Yeah.
excited.
I want
You
to
know-
read her other books because
Me too.
like she's such an angry person.
You know what's so funny is like there was this like at one point I was like thinking of like if I should keep my YouTube channels named Mique's Book Club, but like the fact that we're having this, like yeah, I'm keeping the name. Okay, I'm keeping the name
Of course.
because for like the
Yeah.
longest time I wasn't doing any live shows, but like now, what up, right?
Yeah.
All right, so let's dive right in. We have some questions, and this first one's going to be non-spoiler-ish. So if you haven't read the book, you can stick along. But if you have read the book, and I think everybody on here has read the book, then feel free to stay, right? All right.
Yeah.
So the first question is, what rating did you give the book, and what did you like the most about it? And I'm so excited to hear what you say. Okay, we already gave the ratings, so just say what you liked most about this book. No spoilers so far.
Who goes first?
All right. I'm drinking, and the one who had the most feelings. Okay, Luche introduced herself first, so perhaps Marina can go first since she went last in the last round.
Okay, sure.
Cool.
So I gave it 5 out of 5, and what I liked the most about the book, and then like without being spoilery, is that I really like how it incorporated a lot of real experiences from women, right? Because every right now, especially like there are a lot of women who are talking about um, their own experiences, especially with SA and all of that, and like trigger warning if ever you are triggered by this topic, just like a little warning since this is related to the book. And that's what I really like. Like Layne Fargo did such a good job about like it didn't feel overcrowded with all of like the different experiences of women. It really felt like it was flowed naturally, and then it got to the point while still like driving it home, like this is what happens, this is how girls feel when this happens to them. It's, um so I think that was the most impressive part of the book for me, especially like there were a lot of parts like, hey, I'm a woman, and like there were so many parts that I was just like, yeah, yes, for sure, that happened to me. Yeah.
Oh, my mic. Sorry, I muted my mic because it started raining, so I'm gonna just close up all the
my
windows. So perhaps Ava can go next. What did you love about the book?
What I liked about the book, it's very much like Marina had mentioned. It's very much based on real life experiences. Like it's very relatable. But then I also like the fan, the more fantastical elements to it. Because none of her, okay, no, it's a bit spoilery already. But then it's very much indulgent, in my opinion. It feels like Kill Bill. If you guys have watched Kill Bill, it's very
Yeah.
similar to it. Like there are, anyway, I'll be
Love that
explaining it.
movie.
But then it feels like that. It's very much, I got into it so much that I didn't care that there were like plot holes and all that. I just had so much fun. It also reminds me of the movie Ready or Not, if you guys have watched that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ready or
Samara
Not,
Weaving.
right? No, but it's actually a really stupid movie. If you look at it from like,
Yeah, good lord. I watched that movie in theaters, and the ending was just ridiculous.
no, but I loved it so much because it's like she got her revenge and she also got like a piece of the thing. And that's all like get.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love the last line in that movie when she's on the stairs and she's like, in-laws, right?
Okay, no, but Samara Weaving, it will be part of my fan cast. It's later
Yeah.
on.
Oh yes. We're gonna get to fan casts in a while. Okay.
Wait, there was a line in like sorry, class. Is this
Go ahead.
no, because like there was a line that I from the book that I really wanted to highlight, and it's not spoilery naman. Sorry, it's not spoilery. And I think it goes hand in hand with what Ava said. She wrote, I know you guys know which part of the book this is from, but one of the lines from the book is, "My story was fiction, but it was about how the world should be, how it would be if we could turn men's actions back on them, make them fear us instead."
Oh my gosh, no, but that's like I know exactly.
Yeah,
oh my gosh, that's exactly how I felt about the book.
That's
It's
it.
like
Yeah, for the people watching, like that's it. Like great that those two sentences describe the book perfectly. That's exactly what it's about.
Love it. Yes, honestly, applause. All right. Who Lucha, have you gone already? I think.
Oh
you're
no,
next.
not yet.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, for me, the one, like, I mean, since everyone kind of already just mentioned all the things that I liked about the book, I'll just go a bit more nuanced. What I really, really loved was how she described men.
Yes.
Like, I'm not, I
Go
can't give any
on.
lines without giving a spoiler, but like, it's just like she was describing them just as completely scummy and just as one-dimensional creatures. And of course, like men are human beings, and of course they're not one-dimensional. But it was so entertaining and so eloquently put that I had so much fun.
Yeah, but I think that was done for a reason because, like, think of all the books that men write in which women are the first thing he notices are her breasts or her curvaceous body. Like, the first thing, the way women have been written for all these years, like, all she's doing is flipping that trope and showing it, like, hey, men, how do you like it now, right? Right?
Yes, exactly.
But like in a like much more angry way, and then like it's like all men are ugly in her eyes.
yeah, but
No, and it's
Even the good-looking ones, like Dash.
She says, she outright says that they're good looking, and then she follows up with like, "But he's shit."
Yeah, like, honestly, speaking from experience, like, you can be the hottest guy
and, like,
out there, but, like, some hot guys, like, I meet, and the second they open their mouth, the attractiveness just, like, goes away. Right?
all right, so Marina, what do you?
yeah. Oh no, I was just gonna say that I really think that she, she was going to write a book that was especially catered towards like women and like basically all of our pent up like feelings about men and how men can be so annoying. Sorry, and like she said, if I'm gonna take it this far, I might as well go all the way. And I respect you. I respect her so much for that.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it's
he was like,
the
go ahead.
whole story validated my tendency to hate men. Like I just felt so like reading every page, I felt so validated.
I know. It's like, I'm pretty sure some people are going to complain, like, oh, hashtag not all men. But the thing is, it's like the fact that you guys have this reaction shows that based on your real life experiences, men have just been jerks at some points. I mean, like, it's real. It happens, right?
Yeah,
But
and
then
like
also the people who say that like not all men are like that are also feeding into that, the patriarchal system because they're condoning the actions of men who actually, commit these atrocities.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
If someone is so offended by this book, like, why are you so triggered? Are you hiding something? Or
Right? Right?
So you know what? Like, at some point, men have to acknowledge that there are certain things that they have in their life, and they don't even sometimes maybe they won't even realize that it's misogyny at its finest, but for them it's not like that. They don't see anything wrong with it. But then for us, like, it's so like they don't realize how much it does bother us. And that's why books like this exist, because it's still a problem. You still have to write about it, you have to talk about this. Is such a fun way of talking about it.
Yes. All right. So I'm going to go next for what I loved about the book. And I summed it up into one word, and that is, okay, maybe this is like a word that I invented, but like turned into one word, but it's lady rage. Hashtag lady rage. And I got this word just from the opening scene. Like the very first line, which is, I'll know it's working when he's screaming, was just, the way the book starts off is just so amazing.
It's an amazing.
And it is just like, the bone deep satisfyingness of seeing a wronged woman freaking hit back at all the toxic masculinity in her life is just astounding. And this whole entire book just like, reads like a response to the accumulated and very real injustices heaped upon women in the world, and all of this pent up rage just finally just being let loose. And how cool is it that we finally get to see a female serial killer who actually acts like a serial killer, right? Like you were on, like I was under the impression that she was going to be just like, oh, I kill these men too. But then no, in some of her other lines, you hear that she actually has the desire to kill. Like this is like straight up like Dexter, but with a female protagonist, right?
Yeah, I'm so glad that she wasn't like if they talk about her being a serial killer. I'm glad that it didn't turn out to be like very weepy and she has a tragic backstory. She does have like a sad backstory, sad family life, but then like I'm glad that she's just like, you know what? Like F it. I'm just gonna like do whatever I
kill
want.
Them all.
These men deserve it. And no one's gonna help me, so I'm gonna do it myself.
Exactly. It's like beholding a woman in this book, while she's like, whacking males who like killing males who desperately deserve it. And you really empathize with, and like this book is like as Ava describes it with the Kill Bill, like this book is like a woman's power fantasy. Like after all the decades of women being expected to empathize with men, like even like I love the movie Joker. Like Luche and I saw the movie together, remember Joker? And we were asked to empathize with like a man who, and what Joker does in that movie is things that men do like all the time anyway. But like how often do you see like a woman actually stepping into such a subversive role, right? Like it just stood out to me so uniquely.
Yeah.
And so sorry, go ahead.
Serial killers are typically there are more men than women, but then it's very interesting. I've been watching a lot of Criminal Minds. I don't know if there are any Criminal Minds fans in the chat, but if you are, sound off. I love I love Criminal Minds so much, and like I learned like there are some statistics that are really true, that like there are more men than women in terms of serial killers, but then it's very unique to look at like what motivates a woman versus what motivates a man when it comes to killing. So.
Exactly. All right.
Or
so
maybe
that
the woman just never get caught.
Maybe they're smarter, right? Luche, you got a point. Mm-hmm. All right. So that was the end.
Sarian.
Sorry.
Did you miss Bailey Sarian?
Yes, I love Bailey Sarian, the one with the makeup.
No, because I got into like binge watching her, and then she mentioned like several like women serial killers, and I'm like,
Catherine Knight, though. Marina, remember that one? The one who skinned her husband.
Yes. Oh my god. And then
Australian,
Wasn't there one that like takes a bath in like blood?
I think that was like someone like
to keep her youth.
Right.
That's factory. Anyway, but then from that, like from what Marina had mentioned, it's very much different. What motivates a woman to kill versus what motivates a man to kill. Because there's like this sense of entitlement for men that usually motivates them to kill. I mean, of course, this is just like a general statement. It's not like for all men. Like, but then it's that's usually their motivation. While for women, it's usually something else, like something deeper.
Yeah, or like a series of microaggressions.
Yeah,
just them over.
All right, so let's get into some comments before we go to the next segment. So Kim, I love how feminist the book was. Yes, us too.
Yes.
And then we have Lady Rage. Lady Rage. Hashtag Lady Rage. That's the hashtag for this chat. I loved everything about it, especially all the rage and power and passion she has for telling women's fantasy stories. Love it. Yes. So we have Ava. We have another Ava on the chat.
Yeah.
Jumping in late. Okay, better late than never, but I loved it. 5 stars. A favorite thriller I've read this year.
Definitely.
Agree. This is definitely one of the better thrillers I read this year.
Yeah.
So then we have Monica, who says, it reminds me more of the film Promising Young Woman, which I have been telling you guys to watch on our, oh gosh. So backstory, we have this group chat, the 4 of us, called Attack on Literature, I think, because we love Attack on Titan and we love literature. And on the group chat, when we were discussing this book, because we were all buddy reading it, obviously, for this, I was like straight up being like, watch Promising Young Woman, watch Promising Young Woman. It is pink like my background. It is so good.
Yes.
So now we have another person telling you to watch this film.
Okay,
Love
but
it,
we'll
love
watch
it.
it after, and then we'll react to it.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so we have June, 5 stars for me too. Yeah, June, what's up?
Yeah.
And then we have June. It reminded me of Birds of Prey. Me too. Actually,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna get into that, like, because actually, I wrote Birds of Prey on my notes. How crazy is it that you have the same, opinion? All right,
We
so
are all agreeing in the community.
yes, okay. So Danielle, I haven't read the book, but keep seeing it around. I love spoilers to let me know what to look forward to. Well, I hope we sold the idea. I hope we made you want to read the book.
We'll warn everyone when we get into like spoiler territory, because like eventually we will read it. Yeah.
No, but just
So-
to like motivate you a bit more for Daniel.
All right.
I actually
I
read
agree
it
with
like one day. Like I read it in 4 hours. So that's how exciting the book was
What?
for me. No,
She read
no,
it
That's
before.
I
beast
didn't
mode.
guys no, because I had to binge read it because I forgot to read it for like the weeks before.
Yeah.
So I had to cram it all to one day. And then I finished it because it was like super exciting. And
Get it?
I hope that this motivates me to read it.
Yeah, there's nothing complicated about the language. It's such an easy read. Anyone can read it. Obviously, like not young people, but like anyone. It's easy for everyone to read, and I think everyone will pretty much enjoy it. It's a wild ride.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure,
Yeah,
like,
it's-
no
it's
matter
like
who you are,
written
there will be
literally for, like,
something in the
all
book for you,
women.
right? Go ahead. Yeah.
Sorry. No, I just think it's really written for all women to make it accessible. And I think that's
yeah,
really
not just
great.
women, but like me as as a gay man who's like had really bad experiences with men, like I too was like on the same rage train reading this book. Like I too at some point was like freaking boiling point about what she had to go through, right? Okay. So Kim T, Scarlett was funny too. She made me laugh out loud with her inner sociopath dialogue. Same, same.
Yes, there was a line. It's like it's early on in the book. It was when she was first. So this is a spoiler. Like the first chapter, she's gonna kill someone. But I think she was commenting on the music this guy was listening to about how his heart got broken by a girl, and then her comment was like, "That bitch, how dare she?" And I don't know why. I found it so funny. I love her inner thoughts. Not just like the murdery ones where she wants to choke someone, but also like her sarcasm when it comes to like when it comes to dealing with these men. And I think this is something I forgot to mention earlier. One of the great points is the way Scarlett is written, because her personality just jumps out jumps out of the pages and everything. It's like you can hear her voice in your head, like her sarcasm. You can see the expressions on her face pretty clearly, and like it, and you get to relate to her, because I think that correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that everyone has met men like the men in this book. Whether you're
Yes.
I sure have.
You have met a man or men like the men in this book. So yeah.
We have met men. We have interacted with these men, and we want to. Anyway, we want to do what he does. We want to have the courage to do what he does.
Yeah. All right. It wasn't a 5-star for me because I loved Scarlett's point of view, but not so much Carly's. She's too annoying and makes dumb decisions until the twist. I was bored following Carly. Okay. We're not gonna spoil yet, but we're going to get into spoilers soon.
Yeah. Well, again.
And I want to read it again immediately. Like that would be fun, honestly.
Yeah.
After this.
Yeah. As a female serial killer based story, I prefer Rhiannon from Sweet Pea. I've never heard of that.
Never
Check
heard of
that out.
But we should read it.
We should.
Podcast.
If it's anything like this, we should.
Yeah.
Nikki, I love revenge books. Yes.
Yes, I love revenge books.
Nikki. Yeah. Okay. June. Me too, Nikki. All right. I'm really glad that you all are making friends with each other on this chat. I love it. Okay, I think this was from a while ago. June says, I love Criminal Minds too.
So good.
And then I'm assuming you're talking about Bailey Sarian. Love Bailey. We love Bailey up in here. Yes, we do. And then Monica says, exactly, Scarlett was much more interesting character than Carly, in my opinion. And then Ava says, sorry. And then Ava says, I can't imagine wanting spoilers for thrillers because the surprise is part of the enjoyment. That said, I Google TV show plot summaries when I'm stressed out. All the power to you.
When I get
all the power to you.
Yes, admittedly, before when I was like watching Game of Thrones like very like religiously, I used to watch a day late because I think it comes out a day later here in the Philippines than it does in the US. And I used to Google the plot of the episode just to know if there are any deaths I have to emotionally prepare myself for.
The death that I was most pissed off of was in Battle of the Bastards because Ramsay was my favorite character because of who I am as a person. So, oh shoot, spoilers! But that show ended like so long ago, and it's terrible. The finale completely ruined it. It's a dumpster fire. Anyway. So the next question is, and we'll just be really quick because I want to get to question number 3 real fast. Okay.
All right.
Number 2 is, what book or movie did this remind you of? Let's just keep it to movies. I said Birds of Prey, honestly. And the reason I said Birds of Prey was because of that whole thing about Harley Quinn breaking up with Joker at the beginning of the movie and like everybody complaining about how toxic their relationship was in Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
And the fact that the entirety of Birds of Prey was her emancipation, her freeing herself from the shackles of toxic men and going full-on lady power with the other Birds of Prey was just, like the same feeling I had watching Birds of Prey was the same satisfying feeling I had reading this book. All right, who's next?
I can go next. So
okay.
I have 2 actually, a TV series and a film. So I'll go the TV series first because it's loosely like I think it loosely reminded me of this TV series called Revenge. And basically it centers on an anti-hero basically. She's a girl that lost her father pretty tragically, and her name is Emily, and she basically swore to get revenge on all of the people that were related to what happened to him because he was sent to jail, he died in jail and everything. And she was so mission oriented, she was so organized, she was calm, methodical, and like her personality definitely like matches Scarlett in a lot of ways. That's why I thought of that the moment I started reading. And then the other one, the movie, is The Beguiled, starring
Sofia Coppola, so good.
Yes,
so good.
Nicole Kidman, Elle Fanning, I think, and
Kirsten Dunst.
Kristen Dunst. Yeah. So basically, it's a lot of like women who are like the traditional idea of beauty, very delicate looking and very ladylike and all of that, very demure. That's the word I was looking for, demure. And then they murder a man. Spoiler: they murder a man. So because this guy tried to as one of the girls living in that house, and obviously the girls all banded together and they killed him and buried him, and so that film is just obviously so good. If you enjoyed this,
so good,
you will enjoy that film. So go and watch it.
Okay, so we're watching Promising Young Woman and The Guy.
Yeah.
All right, Ava, Luche, what movies did this book remind you of?
Luche, you go first.
Me, because like when I was reading it, I wasn't really, I didn't like really connect it to any movie because I went straight to like an inner rant. That was when I started messaging you guys. Like really long messages. Now I hate them. So yeah, I couldn't.
That reminds me. Okay.
Because it was like the super long rant, I remember. Like you guys.
Yeah, the moment I stopped reading it, you could tell. Like it was like a whole long messages.
Yeah, this was give everyone some context. In our GC, we actually read it at different times. So the way we reacted to it, we're at like different points of like the week. Mm-hmm. So like you just sent out the super long thing, and then not all of us had understood because like not all of us had started yet. and then I
Yeah,
think Marina went next, and then
yeah,
Mique, and then me. So it was like there were several long rants that
yeah.
progressed the more people who had actually finished the book.
Yeah,
Yes.
It was so much fun to
weird.
read because I had to back up
It
like
was
so
this,
much.
it was so the group chat was like lit every single day for the rest of this for like last week. This week the group chat was like on fire. It was like yes, living for it.
All right.
So,
What
all right.
film does this remind you of?
Like I mentioned a while ago, one is Kill Bill. Like it
Mhm.
definitely gives off like Kill Bill vibes. Like that
Mhm.
revenge without like any caution, like throwing caution to the wind.
Yeah.
Like that whole I don't care if I get the consequences. I want to deal with it now. And we are going to punish them because the system is not going to punish them for it.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
second one is actually Hannibal. I mentioned this a while back. It reminds me
Yeah.
so much of Hannibal because of how it doesn't have. I feel like this is a bit spoilery, but then this book
Mhm.
doesn't like, at least for the women, it doesn't end badly for them, which is very similar to Hannibal. Because it's not always for Hannibal, like the villains, the villains that Hannibal like eats or whatever tend to have consequences among them. But then Hannibal himself rarely faced like the consequences of his crime. Like he's not. I feel like Brian Fuller actually described it to the way that Hannibal was described as the devil himself. Like he wasn't persecuted in the same way as his victims. If you get my drift, and I
Yeah.
feel like it's the same energy with like Scarlet, because he
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily face the same like the same. Okay, we'll explain it a bit more
Okay,
later.
here, Ava. I can. You know what? I can physically see the spoilers struggling to come out of you. So I am gonna. I'm
So
gonna go
hard
through these comments. I'm
because there
gonna
was
go through
so
these comments. Here,
there
here.
was
I'm
so
gonna go through
many
these comments.
parallels.
I'm gonna go
Sorry.
through these comments, and then we're gonna get into spoilers. All right. So
All
I
right,
asked
I'm so
what
excited.
happened. Yeah, we're gonna get into spoilers right after. So I think Sweetie by CJ, Scoos, and the second book in Bloom, and the third book by Deadhead, highly recommended.
Okay. Noted.
And then Kim says, please tell me we're going to discuss what the dean says. We are, and this
Oh
ties
my
into the
Yes.
next question.
We
Hold on.
absolutely-
More comments. Okay. I had all of these things said to me in my life, all of the things the dean said in my book. Okay, yeah, we're gonna rant with you, girl. All right.
Yes.
Ava says Game of Thrones spoilers are beyond fair game by now. Yeah,
Yeah.
they are, because like that was like the biggest show for such a long time.
You're
And
not
it's
missing.
over.
It's
Yeah.
I actually never watched it.
Yeah.
Don't, Luche, don't watch it. Like literally,
Yeah,
if you
that's why
had
'cause
said
I
this,
knew.
So I
Yeah,
feel like she could watch it for like the first few seasons. The first
I mean,
No,
If
because
you
I know
told
it's
me-
I know the end is bad. So like I'm not gonna waste
no,
my
it's
time.
not bad. It's like beyond, like it's like the worst possible way the show could have ended, but like they managed to make that worse. Is how bad Game of Thrones finale was. So I really don't recommend it. Like the ending was bad enough to make me say that this is a bad show. Honestly, that's how bad it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Promising Young Woman and Killing Eve. I've never seen Dexter, so I can't compare. Okay. So June, Love the Beguiled, and Monica, I Love the Beguiled too. I got the Blu-ray. All right. So since I could physically see the spoilers coming out of Ava, we are going to get into spoilers now. So if
Yeah.
you have not read this book, either click off or please click off, because I really don't want to spoil any of the surprises, because this book has so many surprises in it. And that ties into question number 3, which is, what scene pissed you off the most? Go off.
Okay. Okay. I'll
Go.
go first.
I
Okay,
have
wait,
so many.
I
I
love
have
the
5
haircut,
scenes.
by the way.
Yeah, Kim brought it up, so I'm gonna go for it. Okay, so that scene
Spoilers.
with the okay, yeah. So this is going to be spoiler full. Spoiler full. Okay, there is a scene where Carly. So the book shifts between two perspective. So that's Scarlett and Carly. And we find out later on that they're actually the same person. So one is from her younger
Yes.
life, and Scarlett is who she is now, which is really good juxtaposition. So Carly, back when she was really young, her roommate Allison was SA'd at a party, and they tried to report it to a dean. And she and this effing bitch. Fuck. Oh
You
my
can
god.
you can swear this. You can swear. You can say other
Okay, fuck
things.
this bitch. Fuck
Fuck
this
this
bitch.
bitch. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm saying it too.
Like she basically, like, that whole conversation pissed me off the most, because here are two girls that are trying to appeal to you, and you are also a woman. Like, I don't care. Like people can give me 100 reasons why, like, you might not be able to sympathize with that person, but then I think that in this case, like, they were there and they're your students, they're trying to ask you for help, and here you are, you're telling them that, like, so, well, nothing happened, right? So you don't have to, like, report anything. I hate that so much, and especially because, you know I can't count how many times I've gone to a school, like, administrator or like an official, and they try to brush it off because they don't want any, like, bad press for the school. Like, are you joking? Like, that part was so terrible, and it's one of the prime reasons why so many of these incidents with women or with young girls or with students go unreported. So that part, like, really, really, really pissed me off. So,
Guys, look, I put a banner at the bottom
oh,
part.
yeah, that's good. Because, like, we're moving into spoiler territory.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. So the scene that pissed me off was the first one I wrote was what you said when they tried to report it to the dean.
yeah.
But the other one that pissed me off was when we learned that Kinnear was using other people's research, namely Scarlett's research, and saying that it was his. Remember when he was like, trying to pass her work off as his own and trying to pass off his assistant's work as his own? That just pissed me off so much, honestly. And another scene that really got me, and I'll just go through these real quick, and feel free to jump in if we have any overlap, was when we learned, so that one. And then when she goes out to eat with Wes, and then she sees his dad with a younger woman, like, what in the cheating dad, just that was just like, I felt so bad for her. Like, honestly, like, it's honestly, it's not even like beyond the realm of reality. Like, there's so many times when older men go for younger women and they happen to just be scum, as Luche says, scum.
Yeah, but definitely, like, there were so many. Well, the primary example is definitely Scarlett and Dr. Kinnear, how he was basically regurgitating her ideas into, like, this, like, a pathetic, like, copy of what originally would have been shown from her, and putting his name on it. And it's so common. And I bet then there was also a part where Scarlett mentioned that she would have gotten more recognition for her work if he didn't keep undercutting or demeaning her work, or demeaning the value of her work just because she's, like, a woman. And that's best represented when she was talking about Viola Vance, this writer, and how Viola Vance couldn't even get recognized as a writer because she's always outshined by her husband. So that's such a good, like, example of how, like, women are just not recognized even to this day. And you're lying to yourself if you think that, like, they are. It's not equal yet. So that part definitely just, like, got to me, especially as a working woman.
Yeah. Does anybody else have scenes to share? What pissed you off?
I have one.
Go.
One that really pissed me off with this was the scene with one of the last scenes with Wes, and then he was like getting mad at Carly because, like, he punched the guy and everything for her, and then he started, like, mocking her and calling her manipulative because, like, she won't let him touch her. And I'm like, it pissed me off so much because, like, I see this all the time, like, guys acting nice to my friends or act nice to me to get closer to my friends and just expecting something in return. Like, their kindness has to be repaid with your body, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
When I read that, like my blood was boiling.
Yeah, we were talking about this in our group chat also, like how in our own experiences, like men are only nice, like a lot of men, enough men are only nice to girls they find attractive or girls they're
Yeah.
interested in, or even just girls that they want to get something from, like ideas. They want to get your ideas. They'll be nice. They'll be extra nice to you when you're not when you're not worth being around anymore. They'll treat you exactly like that. So
Yeah.
that part is like, oh, like it's actually it's really an issue that is not talked about also enough. Like men are actually very manipulative. They can be very
Yeah.
manipulative.
It's like that whole nice guy trope.
Nice
Like
guy, yeah.
they're never really nice. They're manipulating you so that you feel that you are indebted to them, and it's just so sickening.
Yeah, which is why you need to watch Promising Young Woman, because that movie is literally the whole nice guy trope just being strangled and just so
Yeah.
good. All right. We keep talking about our group chat. We should do you guys know what Discord is? Like, it would be really fun if we could include the people
Oh
on
yeah,
this
we
chat
should.
now. Like
Yeah, we
Kim,
should make a
Monica,
server.
or whoever wants to join. Like, we should make a Discord. So like, when we pick our next book, which we chose our next book already, which
Yeah.
I'll announce at the end, we could all chat. So yeah, let me know in the chat if y'all would be interested in joining a group chat with the four of us. Right? That would be
Yeah,
fun.
we can include our book recommendations there.
I know, and we can put like a separate column. Yeah, we
Yeah.
can make them vote on the Discord. That would be really fun.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Let
Okay,
us know.
so another thing that really angered me was when they went to the party and Allison was sexually lesbian dancing with
Yes.
her so she could attract the other man.
Yes, my God.
Like honestly, like some people may argue like, oh, this book is like so like all women good, all men bad, but like no, there was some really fucked up women in this book, like Allison and the
Allison was
dean.
crap.
She was the awful worst friend ever. Like, ugh.
No, but like what Luche had mentioned, because like
Yeah.
the men in this book are very one-dimensional, but then the women in this book are very much like they're very much developed in a way na not all of them are all good. Like Allison and then the dean, because that's what I really like about this book, because it went the opposite direction for women. The
Yeah.
same way that men tend to write women in a very much one-dimensional way, and then
Yeah.
put like some weight when it comes to writing men. Like men have other characteristics than having like a big dick. Like
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing about this book. It's like whenever a man is a misogynist, it's infuriating. But whenever a woman is a misogynist, it feels like a betrayal, right? It just feels like a stab in the back and a slap in the face.
Yeah.
It's very much what do you call this? Contextualized in that way too.
Yeah.
And it felt like a slap to the face. Wherein whether it was Carly or Scarlett was being affected, it
Yeah.
felt like a betrayal on their part. You know, another part that pissed me off so much,
Go, go, go.
aside from like the party, was like the what do you call this? The funeral. Kinnear's funeral.
Yeah.
Pissed me off so much because I'm a theater kid. So I've heard like Hamlet's to be or not to be like so many fucking times. And
Yeah.
I felt the pretension. The fact that the woman, like the what do you call this?
Or
What do you call
Judith.
it? Yeah, no, her.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Oxford girl. The one
yeah.
she mentions were in, oh, he doesn't want a Bible quote, so we're going to go with the Shakespeare quote. And I'm like, I felt the pretension and I got so fucking annoyed.
Yeah, and I was like, when she was reading that line, I was like, girl, like, why are you reading that? Do you understand Shakespeare? Like, did you ever study him? Do you know, like, why are you reading like a poem where he contemplates suicide? Like,
Right? No, because it feels like, no, this is why I hate Kinyor. It's not because he's like such a scumbag. That's like just like that's an added thing.
Yeah.
But then I hate him for his pretensions. Because remember when he goes to like, I know, it was the party. And then they go into like his house. And then
Yeah.
all of his books are just for display. And I got so fucking annoyed. Personally. I felt like that was a personal affront.
And when
Yeah,
she
no.
finally got the red book, I was like, steal that book, bitch. Get it.
Like
Mhm.
all her comments when she was at the house party were so like spot on.
Yeah,
And when she was commenting on his books and it was just on display, and I was like, burn it
Yeah.
down, girl.
yeah, she was commenting how everything was just there just for him to look good, and it wasn't actually because he really, really liked it. God.
Yeah.
And I felt
You know what I
like
would have done? You know
Ah,
what I
yes,
would have done if I was her? I would have walked up to the shelf. I would have gotten a book. I would have been like straight up, hey, Kinnear, this book. What's this book about? Tell me what the
Yeah.
book's about. What did you like
Oh my
about
God,
it?
I see that
I would have put him
vision.
on the spot. I would have put his ass on the spot. That's what I would have freaking done, man.
There was
I wouldn't have even tried. I would have been like, I'm taking this first edition since you're not gonna read it anyway. I'm gonna bring it home with me.
No, I'm gonna take it,
Walks
and you're
out.
probably not even gonna know it's missing.
We all went for shopping. No, but it resonated with me all the more because I worked in an academic setting. So I was very much aware of these happenings. I knew
Yeah.
what was happening behind the scenes and all of the sketchy stuff.
oh
So it's
my
like
gosh.
I felt very much like I saw where she was getting this wrong. This
Yeah.
wasn't like something that's very fantastical in my opinion. Like
Yeah.
these are very much things that could happen and
Mm.
does happen at the moment.
Yeah.
And that's why I felt like I feel like it, what do you call this? There's this word, para mas nadama. That's our that's a term in Filipino word in
Like more felt,
I don't know.
like felt more.
Translate for the foreigner, please.
No, it means like it's something that you feel more.
Okay.
Mm.
Something that hits on a different level. Is that kind of what that
Yeah.
means?
Yeah.
Essentially.
All right. I
it
got you.
resonates with you to a deeper
Resonates.
on a personal level.
Resonates.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that segment's done. So let's do some comments before we get to the next section, and there are so many. Okay, everybody was also on fire. Okay, I'm rewatching the fourth season of Game of Thrones. Fourth season is my favorite too. Oh my gosh, the final battle at the end. Oh, so good.
Really
the scene
good.
with the Dean had me boiling point.
Right? So big.
As you can see by this chat, we were all.
I stopped for a few days because I knew what was gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's
Once
me.
It pissed me off, the twist involving her assistant, the one Scarlett was shagging. Shagging, I love that word. Don't remember his name. Jasper! It's Jasper.
It's Jasper!
Okay, you are so
Hey,
fancy.
you are so fancy with your banner.
Yeah,
Shout out to the
alright.
banner, which I just learned today, apparently. Like, literally just now I learned how to do the banner. I was like, how do I
We're
put
so
spoilers?
proud of you.
Yeah, because like I was like monitoring the people coming in, and it was like people were like actually coming in to watch, and I was like, oh no, I don't want to ruin their reading experience. So I'm like, how do I put something on the screen? Okay. So then we have Ava. The Dean sucks. Yeah.
Yes.
I had a similar experience. I'm really sorry to hear that, Ava. In undergrad, when an on-campus therapist told me not to bother reporting it because they'd likely. Let me just say that I'm so sorry that happened to you, and that it's just. It just pisses me off, that things like this happen. Yeah.
I had an experience where I wasn't. I knew some girls who had gotten S.A. at school, and they all wanted to report the guy. He did the same old ruse with all of these girls to
Marina, was
basically
this in high school or college?
college. We all went to the same college.
You are gonna have to tell me about this right after this live show, girl.
I think I know this.
Sorry. Yeah, I think you know this too. No, but so basically this guy's very popular, Mr. Charismatic, and very, very charming to some people. I hated his face. Anyway, so he basically lured all these girls to his apartment, and that's where he got them alone. So that's where he started to be inappropriate. And
the one I know is different.
Yeah, so it was so sketchy, especially because these girls are all alone, they all dorm, and like he took advantage of that. He took advantage of the fact that they don't have anywhere else to, or whoever else to run to except for the school. And what pissed me off was that they did go to the guidance counselor, but then the guidance counselor, I think this guidance counselor is no longer with our school, thank God. This guidance counselor told them like they cannot help them if they don't have proof. And I'm like, are you joking?
The word of five people wasn't enough.
Yeah, you have all of these girls saying the same thing. You don't think that there's something wrong or it's not like worth looking into. So it's so, I swear. Yeah, I feel for you.
I think we can all agree that this guidance counselor is frankly an embarrassment, and I'm glad that person isn't in the school anymore.
I'll explain it on my point. No, because here's the thing. I know the back end because I did work like an academic setting.
Okay.
Unfortunately, at the moment, there are no there are no procedures for like what you had mentioned, and I wish there were.
Yeah.
But the current like system, the current like the steps, they do have to have the solid evidence. Yeah. And I wish that it was more on like the experiences itself. Like instead of invalidating that experience, I wish like the schools had more of a protective measure, which like this book did mention that at the end when Drew had actually like taken over the chair spot that he deserved, he did put on like preventive measures.
Yes.
Rely on a gay guy to actually do something, right?
So I think that's entirely blame like the counselor because it's like the system itself works against them.
Yeah,
against those who report. So it's not the person itself. So I probably get the teen. I'm infuriated with how he had reacted. But then I do understand from like working in the background, back end, like working from that point of view, and dealing with this types of situations. Yeah. So for like
But even then, this whole notion, people saying, "Oh, I'm just doing my job." It's like, thank you for doing your job, but like, can you like step up? Because what if this happened? What if this happened to your daughter? What if this happened to your sister? What if this happened to your cousin? Like, I mean, these people are people; they're not just statistics. So I get what you say, but like that guidance counselor is an embarrassment, and let's just hope that eventually these women get some justice.
True. No, I do agree with that, and that's why I did love what Scarlett did. Because at those moments, you have a feeling wherein, as a last resort, you have to take it into your own hands. You have to take justice into your own. And
in my high school, I'm not triggered by any by sharing this, by the way. So you guys know this as my friends, like that there was an incident that I was involved in high school. I was 15 or 16. But then there was you're right, Ava, that nowadays there's still no system for schools to really help students and to report this and to investigate cases like this. And it was extra hard for us to really step up. But then luckily we did have a teacher that helped us, like no matter what. There's no system available, but she would still do her best, use all of her connections within the school to try to get this professor out, and they did get him out. And there were and also because there were 7 girls that came forward with some form of evidence. Luckily I had printed out some stuff to support, and then the testimony, and then we had testimony from the other girls.
So you had an experience in high school and college. Like this stuff never stops. Like, men, you really need to do better, right? Like,
not so much that Marina had to actually print it out. Like that's what I'm so fucking annoyed with.
Yeah,
I acknowledge the system, but I hate it nonetheless.
Yes,
I hate the fact that people have to have solid evidence in order to actually do it. I wish people had become more proactive in order to avoid this. Because there were moments in the book itself wherein they do mention that if this was prevented, if these incidents were prevented, then they wouldn't have affected like as many people.
Yeah. Like with Allison, by the end, I didn't really like how she reacted. But then at some point, like I do still sympathize with her because I think she was of the mindset that there's nothing I can do. I might as well just accept it. She
Yeah.
became very bitter towards the end, especially because she felt that not only it twisted her view of Carly, and then also right, you could see her spiraling into like this, like just becoming like this bitter person who
Yeah.
thinks that um there's nothing I can do. I might as well just live my life, and if it happens to me, like no one's gonna believe me. But that's so sad that like women like automatically, yeah, even in my own experience, automatically you doubt for a second that there are people who are gonna believe you. It's only later on that you start to think maybe this will work.
Yeah. Well, yeah, thank you for sharing these stories, and thank you to Ava in the chat for also sharing these stories.
Wow.
Like, I think we can all agree that things need to be done, and people just need to be better, right?
Yeah.
So,
People need to be better.
yeah. All right. So, moving on, we have Monica who says the dean was bad, but Scarlett's assistant at the end. Come on, so dumb.
No, because
Yeah.
here's the thing with Scarlett's assistant though. Scarlett's assistant had like that inkling. You knew, you felt it that he had like something brewing inside of him, wherein he's very
Yeah.
possessive. And it's like
Yeah.
I wasn't
I-
surprised.
Yeah, I even
Just
Like, the
highlighted
guy clearly has issues.
the
So
fact
then-
that
Sorry,
Yeah,
go
so-
ahead, Marina.
well, the fact that he looked like right, he was so angry, especially when Scarlett took the key to her house back. It's her house, it's her key. Like, just let her have it back. And he was so angry. Like, definitely, like Jasper was just like, ugh, Jasper, there's something wrong with you.
I actually thought there was gonna be a twist in the end that he was
Mhm.
also like some kind of like serial killer, and then they were
Yeah.
gonna get along, not as lovers, but like as like
Oh.
close friends. So I thought
Yeah.
that was gonna happen, and then
Yeah.
when then that ending happened, I was like, oh, okay.
Well, something close to that happened. I mean, not
Yeah.
that she ended up with another serial killer, but she ended up with somebody who excused and kind of like appreciated her behavior and the way she went about things, which I love that ending.
Yeah.
So we have Kim. The thing with the dean is that the dean was also a woman. Even when women say these things,
Yes.
even say these kinds of things to other women, we have to stop doing that to each other and buying into that. Yeah,
Exactly.
Yes.
this comment.
Yeah.
I feel like someone mentioned this in the chat, like the exact same thing. Wherein we were so
I think that was
annoyed.
me.
Yeah, no, because it was like, oh, you were so hopeful. Because it was like a woman. So you're going to expect
Yeah.
them to understand it a bit more. And then she says the exact same thing as like a man would. And you're
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I
Like-
thought I trusted you.
Yeah,
I
for
think
the
this is- oh, sorry. Go ahead.
for the context of my story earlier, can you imagine? We struggled to report this incident. There were no mechanisms available in the system, and I went to an all girls school. Can you imagine? I went to an all girls school, and there's no mechanism there to protect these girls. Like, are you? Hello. So-
Like, are you ignorant that predators don't exist? Like, do you think your screening is that good?
Like
Yeah.
you'd think that an all-girls school would be like a safe place for girls, but then
not.
they don't even have like an opportunity for you to voice complaints of this sort. It's ridiculous.
This is why so many horror stories are based in all girls schools.
Yeah. The things that need to be
It's very
replayed with your
possible.
body was a great piece of commentary in the book, and I think that was to Luche's other comment about when you were talking about how men were only nice to you because they expected something, in return,
Yeah.
like in the physical realm. And then I'm annoyed that Bash got to. Oh, I'm gonna get to that soon.
I also have to get the.
I forgot all the names in the book. Who was Bash? Okay, so Bash is Sebastian, and he was the guy who was in Cabaret with who acted in Cabaret with Allison.
Allison.
And he was like the hot guy that was in theater, but like also a fucking piece of shit.
No, but
Yeah.
here's the thing. I was in theater, remember? So like, Marina and I were like very active in theater, and we know exactly a guy like that. So I
Yeah.
got like extra annoyed with him. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know who you're talking about, and I hate him too. I still hate him to this day. No, but
Sisters in hate. Love it.
Yeah. Also, Bash is such a stupid name. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, but I've never heard that nickname before. Like Bash, like anyway. Kim, I would join a Discord group chat, but I don't know how to use Discord either. I'm gonna have to figure that out.
I
We'll
can
teach
help.
you. We'll teach.
Yeah.
Okay, Bash is the guy who drugged. Okay, thank you, Kim, for letting her know. I'm sorry, I didn't look at the chat. Okay, I read it 2 months ago. Yeah. I probably would forget his dumbass name too. Okay, Bash needs to get Bash.
Yeah.
Yes. This comment. What can I say? This comment.
I need it on a piece. Go.
Ava.
Yeah.
Oh yes, as a lesbian, straight friends tried that all the time with me and. Yeah, and me too. I've had girls who wanted to make out, like, oh, let's experiment. Like, girl, come on, like, it's never gonna happen. So we
Wait,
aren't.
someone actually said that to you? What the fuck?
No, I mean, like, I consented because I was like, what if I magically like girls? I don't like girls. I mean, I'm not a misogynist, but I love girls. Clearly, look at this panel over here. But I don't, I'm not. I'm a raging homosexual. If you catch my drift. Anyway, so we aren't there to help you dudes get attention. Yes, Ava. Hell yeah. All right. Kim says that's frustrating. I'm pretty sure we all agree that what she just said is just aggravating. Sorry. Ava, in Argentina, we don't live at the college. I lived with my folks, but the guys during all those hours at college, terrible. Even professors' assistants were all over the group. Ooh, that sounds like a very scary environment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then I'm straight, and I don't have any straight men friends either. They're always trying to do me. I know, it's like always. Are there any men that have like virtue? Just kidding.
Yeah, so this is like for me, like I'm one of my biggest pet peeves or biggest fears is like when you're like in a group of friends, and it's such a high school thing, but people still do it, but then they tease you with other guys. But then you know how sometimes like that implants in the mind of guys, and then they start thinking that you're into them, and like that's a huge fear of mine because like they might like even if I don't do anything, they're gonna start assuming that I'm into them, and it's the scariest thing for me.
Yeah.
And when you obviously when they confront you about it and you tell them, no, we're just friends. I do for you what I do for any of my friends, regardless of their gender or their sexuality or whatever. I'll use a Tagalog term, but then I'll translate it. They call you paasa, which is like you give them
False
hope.
hope.
False hope, or you lead them on. You're leading them on.
Yeah.
When you're trying not to do that, you are just treating them as you would any other person, but they're reading too much into it.
Yeah, and it becomes your fault and your problem to deal with.
Yeah.
It's just so
God.
The Dean and Promising Young Woman is also that's why I was like so super reminded about that movie because
but then I'll take note of this.
Oh yeah, that scene was also pretty. Actually, no, the scene with the Dean and Promising Young Woman was kind of satisfying. It didn't play out the way it did in this book. Let's just put it like that. Yeah.
We'll watch it.
All right. So the next question is, which character did you like the least? And I'm gonna go first because I'm gonna be super short and super shallow, and I'm gonna say Bash and Allison because I didn't think the punishment was appropriate enough. Like I wish that there was like a bigger comeuppance for them. Like I wish that they ended up a lot worse than they did in the actual book. So that's just me. I wanted them both dead, honestly.
I'll go next. I think my least favorite character would have to be Allison also, but mostly because I wish there could be something more like with her, because she presented like a really she is a representative of like, yes, there are girls out there who bitterly accept that this is their situation. I wish that things didn't end so badly between her and Carly in the end. And I think that there was a lot of potential there for her. But then I also understand why she was written that way. I hate Bash because I hate Bash. And like wait, there was one more.
The dad. I hate the dad too.
I hate the dad. I hate the mom. I hate the mom of Carly, but I understand her.
Oh.
I understand her. And I hate Strite, Professor Strite.
Oh yeah, him! I completely forgot about him.
He is like the quintessential young, attractive professor, and I know I'm young and attractive, so I'm gonna use it in whatever way I can, and none of these students can really like stop me. That I hate that. I hate that. I hate that. I want to hit his face with like a frying pan. Go. So,
I love the specificity of what you want to hit his face with. Like you've got baseball bats, you've got hockey sticks. Marina straight up frying pan. Yes.
You can see that. You can see that like my least favorite characters are not because they were poorly written, but just because like I really just have like so much hate for them, or I feel like but only I think only Allison was like I understand her like the way she was written. I wouldn't change it, but then also it would be really cool to see if she had like if there was more development for her. Yeah. So,
Kim's right.
Yeah, I agree with Kim.
yeah.
Okay, so I think we have Luche's answer.
I hate men. Just kidding. Just kidding.
I hate all the men except for Drew and his husband. Like they're
Yeah.
cute. But then,
yeah.
yeah, sorry.
The one I kind of just always go back to is the first guy. The first guy she killed in the story, the jock who participated. Yeah, the I'm not sure if I can say, but like the group, and they, that was just so sickening, and especially when she was like talking about how, I mean, none of their actions were excusable at all, but then the fact that he was stone cold sober while they did that.
I know who my least
Like-
favorite character is out of everyone. Out of
Oh wait,
everyone.
Go.
I know you go first.
He's such a side character and I don't care. His name is Ryan. He was in Scarlett's class and he was the one who was always arguing with Michaela and defending
He was the one who was defending the Titus Andronicus people saying like, oh, his punishment was too severe. That guy.
Yeah.
I hate that guy. We all know a guy who's like Ryan. So I hate him.
We all know a Ryan.
We all know
And
Ryan.
then like what was the name of the student assistant? I forget her name. The student that was super smart that they kind of like all defended in the end.
Michaela.
Was her the one who was fighting with
Michaela.
Ryan? That
Yeah,
Ryan
Michaela.
called a psycho? I was like,
Oh yeah. Ugh. And another that scene was mirrored with a scene that I really love, and that's when when they were reading the story in the class, and then she had a story about a woman who like kills a man and pulls out his nails, and the people in the class were like, "That's so gross." Like if I was in that class, I would be her best friend. Like I would be like, "Yes, can we please be best friends?"
It's a creative writing class. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
creative.
What?
If you can't take the heat, get the fuck out of the kitchen.
But Monica mentioned like something
Just kidding.
very interesting.
I'm back.
She said that she's not a fan of Mina, which I
Yeah.
didn't expect.
Oh yeah, Monica, can you
This is
explain
the
why you don't
female
like
character. Mina is like the wife, right? And the ex-wife.
Yeah, for me, I tried to imagine like what the book would be like without Mina. I think I only saw the value of Mina at the very end of the book.
Well,
No, but
she proves her existence in the story. Like
Yeah.
she shows why she should have been in there. I mean,
Yeah.
she's useful to helping Scarlett get out of the situation.
Definitely. Yeah.
No, but the thing with Mina that I really do like, in all
Marina.
fairness, I do understand that she's
I don't know why they came to mind. Sorry. go on,
agree.
Papa.
No, but then the thing with Mina at the end, I do understand the purpose of her character. Like she's not as developed as all the other like women. But then the thing with her is I felt like it was part of the indulgent fantasy. Because she's someone who identifies as queer, it's like part of my fantasy to find like someone who understands. And I feel like that's part of it. Because it's like I mentioned a while ago with Hannibal,
Yeah.
this couple reminds me of I forgot her name, but then the Verger, the one I sent through the chat before, and Alana, the psychologist, psychiatrist.
Yeah.
So they got together at the end, and they had like the happy ending, and it's like very much indulgent of me. I don't care that they weren't as developed. I like the fact that they're happy. They got their happy ending. So I feel like that's what Mina serves in the story, because it's not.
That's
It's not
true.
that it's not it's not that it's not a well written book, because it's very much well written. But then it's not. It's going to be, if you're going to expect like something deeper, like,
Yeah.
oh, they're going to have like conversations about feminism and all that, like giving into more of the conversation at large.
Yeah.
This isn't the book for you. This is
Yeah.
very
But
much skill based.
Yeah.
I did love the conversations between Mina and Scarlett, where Scarlett was like, well, I wasn't really that close with him. And then like Mina was like, no, everyone hated him. So like I don't think anyone's upset that he's dead. Those are my favorite parts with
I think
Mina. I really like how, like, if you notice in the book, they juxtapose Mina and Scarlett's relationship with Carly and Allison. Carly and Allison didn't work out, while Scarlett and Mina did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
I
like
think
All
for
right,
me
so-
also.
it's
So
like
Monica says, "Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Ava."
no, I was just going to mention like
Yeah.
it's like a what if. And there were
Yeah.
like several ways this story could have ended. And
Yeah.
they tried to show it in like different ways. And I feel like that's why there is like a clear distinction between Carly and Scarlett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me also, like I think the value for Mina, I think her value as a character, at least for me, is that it's representation of like really smart women making really stupid decisions in love.
Oh,
Like how
wait. I think you have there's a comment here. Luche, is this what you were referring to?
no, like how no, I mean like my main point of inquiry is like how the hell did she end up with Kinner? Like she's so smart, but he's so pretentious. And like
Yeah,
anyone with a brain would really find that off-putting.
Yeah.
Like how did you get so stupid?
how could
Yeah.
that's an interesting part.
Actually,
June, I have that same fantasy, Ava. I think she's talking about the same thing that you were discussing a while ago.
we all have that fantasy no shit. No, but as Monica had mentioned a while ago, I
Yeah.
do feel like the one with how could Nina forgive like Scarlett for like killing her husband and all that. And I feel like she has really bad taste in people.
Yeah.
And it's very much
Oh my
blends
God.
with like Kinyar, and it's like yeah, no,
Yeah.
like I don't get it, but then I do know why.
Yeah. I enjoyed how Scarlett
You
used
can't
mental
have it
sex
all. You can't be
and then
smart, pretty, and intelligent to love.
True. I enjoyed how Scarlett used men for sex and then feel bad about it or associate sex with emotion. Mm-hmm.
Oh, men are always saying that women get emotional, like that's why they only have one night stands so that women don't get attached and stuff. Like
Yeah.
yeah. Some
All right. Yeah, fair point. Okay, our last question, and then I am getting really hungry. So let's speed through this, and then we're gonna speed through this, and then I'm gonna announce what our next book is. And yeah, so fan cast. Who did you imagine playing these people?
oh my gosh. Okay.
Go.
So for fan cast, I'll start with Scarlett.
Also, everyone in the chat, everybody who's watching, let us know who you imagined as these characters.
Wait, I think I have Twitter. Okay. So for Scarlett or Carly, I imagine Jessica Chastain mostly. Because like I remember how she I for some reason like I know that she can play very strong women. I know she can play very um uh she can also be very demure, and she also her looks I think just match Scarlett a lot. So I would love to see her try to be Scarlett. And I cast Rochelle Aites from Criminal Minds. Like she's a side character in Criminal Minds, but I really like her as an actress, and I think that she would make a very good Mina. And then for Allison, I chose this mostly based on looks alone. Like I chose like this influencer. Her name is Daisy Keach as Allison.
Oh yeah, I kind of imagined Allison looking like an influencer-ish kind of person. Also,
Yeah, like Barbie doll. Yeah. And then for Jasper, like I chose William Mosley. I don't know why. Like his look in this, especially in this photo, just like kind of matched with how I envisioned Jasper, who's like someone who's very very attractive, and he knows that he's attractive. He thinks he can get away with it, but he has clearly has no sympathy for anyone else if it doesn't serve him in some
Yeah.
way. And of course, for Drew, who's the only really good character, really like morally, good guy, Stanley Tucci as for Drew, because I think Stanley Tucci does a lot of justice um, to gay characters, and also I think he just matches the vibe of how I imagine Drew, who's someone who's very serious,
Actually, yeah.
but also he's very emotional. You can see that Drew really is just trying his best to keep keep the peace and do his job, and make everyone, just encourage everyone to be better, like how he was so excited that Scarlett got the fellowship. So
Oh my gosh! Wait, Monica. Oh my gosh, Monica.
Right.
Me and Monica had the same. I also said Nicolaj Coster-Waldau in our group chat. Remember?
Yes.
I am not the only one who casted. Okay, I'm gonna go next because I needed to say that I casted like tons of Game of Thrones people
Yes.
in this. Okay, so for Scarlett, I casted Carice Van Houten. She's the one who
Yeah.
played Melisandre in Game of Thrones because this is Scarlet Fox. I'm sorry, Jessica Chastain. This is the only valid Scarlet Fox in my eye. And then I also casted Nicolaj Coster-Waldau as
I agree.
Kinnear.
Yeah.
And then I casted Lena Headey as Mina, the one who plays Cersei Lannister in Game of Thrones. I casted her as Mina. And then for what's her name? Carly, I casted Caitlin Dever from that movie Booksmart because she's like a funny little nerd, and it would be so nice to see like this growing up to be this. So like I feel like that would be so fun to see. And then I also agree with Marina's casting, like Stanley Tucci, that would be amazing. And I casted the guy in Ready Player One as Wes because he seems like a nice guy, but also like a bitch. So that's who I casted as that. And that's pretty much it for me. What about let's do Luche, then Ava, and then I'm gonna go through this chat, and then I'm gonna have dinner.
I imagine the cast as blobs in my head. Like I just do
Oh,
not connect. I don't connect real people to what I read.
yeah. I mean, I get that. I think a lot of people also just like absorb the story as it is. But like for me, I don't know. I mean, as a movie buff, like I see things as movies, which is why it's like so easy to be like, okay, David Fincher cinematography over here, or Terrence Malick cinematography over here. Not in this book, but like in other books. Which is why I like, especially when I was reading The Secret History. Don't say anything, Ava. I had like a cinematic orgy in my head. Like I was like, okay, the guy who directed Atonement. Oh, make the school look beautiful. Yeah.
It depends on the book. Some books, like The House in the Cerulean Sea, I imagined it as more of a Studio Ghibli film in my head when I was reading it. Yeah, but for this book, I imagined actors and actresses, and this would be such a good film. I swear, I would go. I would pay.
It would be so much fun.
Yes,
as a film.
It's a perfect film. Instead of I don't want to call it chick flicks because that's like demeaning sometimes. But like the typical romance movies, like they associate that, oh, that's for girls' night. This would be an amazing girls' night film.
Yes.
Yeah.
This
It would be
actually
so much fun.
No,
Yeah.
I do agree with everyone. This will be such a fun girls' night movie. Like
Ava, did you cast anybody? Did you have any ideas for like who you imagined while reading the book?
Oh, for me,
Yeah.
I do have to be very transparent. I imagine everyone from Hannibal because it gave like,
Game of Thrones, Hannibal.
but then I also would like to add you, which I just thought of now, like the CPU. So the dude who played I forgot his name. The dude who played
Ben Badgley?
Huh?
Pen Badgley?
Pen
Yeah,
Badgley?
Badgley?
Yeah.
I saw him as Wes,
Wes. He's
He
a
could
little
be
old.
West.
right?
Yeah,
No,
but
he could be Wes.
I don't see it. Sorry, I think he's a bit old.
Oh yeah, no,
I-
a younger him. But then
No,
it's
I mean
like
like him from Gossip Girl. It makes sense.
he
Yeah,
gives off
yeah,
such grad school vibes.
No,
Yeah.
Pen Badgley's more of an Alex to me, like young Alex. Like that's who I see more. That's who I see him more
Oh!
as.
But then that's his
Oh!
Wait, no, who was the dude who was from Little Liars? Like the dude from that show? The
Wasn't he
teacher.
also in Pretty Little? I don't know. I never really watched. I only watched like a
Wasn't
few
he also in that
episodes.
show though?
He looks a bit different anyway, but then for who else?
Well, what's his name? He was the guy who played, was it Ezra the teacher? Was it that guy? Whatever.
Okay,
I
so
think
the guy in
April
Pretty Little
Fools.
Liars, we imagined him as Alex. All right, so let's see who our audience casted in. There are so many people. Okay, oh shoot. Okay, June, Naomi Watts as Scarlett. Monica, Naomi Watts is too old and too blonde.
Yeah.
Roasted. All right, Nicole Kidman is June. Naomi Watts and Nicole Kidman are like best friends. That's like incest. Okay, and not to roast June. Respect, valid.
Nicole Kidman could play the dean. Like
Okay,
she has,
this is the
chops for it.
yeah. This is the energy I love. I cast myself as
Yeah.
girl. I cast myself in books I read too. Where's Ava? Oh shoot. Okay, well,
She'll be back.
I'll add her back in when I see her in the
I have to
in
admit, though,
the
there were
backstage.
moments when I imagined myself as Scarlett.
Yes.
Especially when she was like burning down Kinner's house. I was like, that could be fun. I could imagine.
Definitely. Yeah. What else? Yeah, I definitely wish, like, if I could be Scarlett for one day, I think I would have lived my best life.
Oh,
Definitely. Just for one day.
for the Dean, I cast the guy who played Jamie in Game of Thrones. For the Dean, wasn't the Dean a guy?
Dean is a
no.
girl. The
So
Dean
I
is a
think-
girl.
Is Dean straight? I think he means straight.
No.
Oh.
Maybe she corrected
Here.
herself and then she redid it. Okay.
Yeah.
Isn't Jessica Chastain too old for this role? Monica, this is your professor.
Jessica Chastain can be the older Scarlett, but definitely not younger Scarlett
Carly.
or Carly. Yeah, definitely someone else for Carly.
If Jessica plays old Scarlett, then Madeline Petch from Riverdale for Carly. Oh.
Yeah, or
Actually.
Abigail. Yeah, or Abigail Hobbs, who's from Hannibal also.
Nice.
Yeah.
Marina Baccarin for me. I don't know who
Yes.
this actor is. Do you know who this actress is, Marina?
I've seen her in a few things, but then I can't recall where I've seen her. But then definitely she does seem like the very, very professional type, and she can definitely play Mina.
Yeah. I want to see more film buff related videos from Mique. Okay.
Woo!
Honestly, I would, but the reason I don't, the reason I joined BookTube and not MovieTube is because with BookTube, there's just no pressure at all. Like you can read whatever book you want and talk
Mhm.
about it whenever you want. Like I can read books that were released in 2001 or 1980 or in the 1700s and talk about them in any wrap up. The thing with MovieTube is like the way that you break in is like you have to be like an actual film critic who gets movies early, and you have to have your movie review out like on the day itself. Like if I wanted to review Black Widow, I would need to attend like a Marvel press screening, and like by the time the movie comes out, all these reviews are out, all these early reviews are out, and my review is gonna like sink all the way to the bottom. So which is why like whenever I absolutely have to talk about a movie like with Wonder Woman 1984 or Mulan when they're fucking shit and I have to bash them, then I'll likely make a video. But MovieTube is just very, very, very difficult to break into. Like BookTube is like pretty easy. Like I was able to get my first 1,000 subscribers. Like it wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be. But like if I was doing movies, I don't know if I would. I don't know. Maybe I'll try. Maybe I'll dedicate other videos to films, or make. I don't know. What I definitely will not do is make a second channel because one channel is hard enough, girl.
And especially
So, yeah.
books that will be turned into films. I think that's a good.
Yeah, actually, you know what? Like I've been reading a lot of books that actually have movie adaptations. So I read Lost Girls and Love Hotels, Confessions, The Virgin Suicides, and
Yeah.
this other one that I can't remember. But like, if you want me to do a video reviewing those films, like reviewing movie adaptations of books I've read, then maybe let me know and I can probably work on that, because all I have to do is watch a movie. It's going to take me all of like 2 hours, right? So Tarantino would be a great director for the director's chair, but he only directs what he writes. He could write this too. I mean, but it would be nice to have a woman's screenplay, right? Like, it would be nice to have a female do the
I feel
screenplay.
like
'Cause, like, I feel like a man might fetishize it too much.
yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't resound the same way with a female audience, because like the experiences are very nuanced to a certain extent. Like you can only really write about it if you've experienced it
Yeah,
Yeah,
especially
like continuously.
Like, if
I
a
think
man wrote this book, I'm pretty sure there would be tons more sex, and that she would be describing her body all the time. Like, it would be like Nevernight.
I
Yeah.
would
And-
burn it.
and women would be more emotional, because there was this quote that I heard before that women when a guy expresses his feelings, he's being genuine, but when a girl expresses her feelings, she's being over emotional.
Yeah.
I feel like if a guy had written this, like the girls might not come out the same way, or it wouldn't have the same impact, because there are only there are nuances that girls feel as girls, and even and I think even for in a director's position, I think it would be like what Lucha said. It would resonate better with women if the director was a female, and I think the director would also have an eye for the things that she should focus on in a film, instead of in the scene, compared to
Yes.
what the guy would what he would focus on in the scene.
Yeah. Do you know that, Marina? Do you know the concept male gaze? Like, if a man was to film a woman, like, he would make it like, the movie Blue is the Warmest Color, the lesbian movie.
Yes, I know that.
That movie was like acclaimed when it first came out, but like in subsequent years, people accused it of having like a male gaze. Like, the director made the sex scenes like super, as if lesbians were playing to a straight male audience rather than an authentic lesbian experience. Like, if it was like two women that weren't young and conventionally attractive, people suspect that the movie wouldn't have gotten as famous as it did. Like the male gaze. Like, if it looks like it's for the pleasure of men, as opposed to conveying the emotional tie between the two women on screen. Apparently, I think that's what that means, and that this film would probably have that if it was done by a man, maybe.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said that Blue is the Warmest Color may be associated with like the male gaze, but like a good example of what that scene might look like through the eyes of a female's Orange is the New Black. There are scenes there that are so that, like, yes, they have the same sexual energy, but then also they have like the same awkwardness and a little charm of what it's like to start to express yourself as loving other women's, or having your first relationship with a woman, and like the kinds of like things you might go through as a couple, which is really interesting.
Yeah, and then there's this other movie called Portrait of a Lady on Fire, which is directed by a woman, which is apparently like really good for like the female perspective of a female relationship.
Yeah.
So Monica, I just wanted to say that even though I did not love They Never Learn, it's a fucking masterpiece next to Survive the Night. For those of you who haven't seen my Survive the Night drunk review, it's live on my channel.
That's true. And it's okay if like you didn't really like completely love like They Never Learn. It's fine. And I haven't read Survive the Night yet, but according to Mique, maybe I shouldn't. I'll just watch your review.
Don't read it. And thank you so much, Kim. This was a great live show. I love the questions and the way you organized it with the questions and then the comments, questions. Thank you so much. I was like so scared because I was like, freaking getting drunk, but like, thank you. It means a lot.
We're improving.
June says all good. I think this was when we were roasting her. Sorry, June.
Yeah.
Marina was in the TVC. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Can I pass Cameron Monaghan? Oh, he was in Shameless. He was the guy with the ginger hair.
Oh, yes. Go ahead.
Yeah. Book to movie adaptation reviews would be awesome. All right, I'll look into it. I commend you, Mique, that Lost Girls in Love Hotels is. I commented. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
Monica, I haven't looked at the comments in my last video, but I'll try to reply to them as soon as this is done after I eat. And then MJ, hi MJ, Jen as an old Carly, Emily Blunt as Mina, Vincent Cassell from Black Swan. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Cillian Murphy as
Cillian
Jasper.
Murphy as
It's just
Jasper.
MJ. I think your casting is pretty awesome, honestly.
I can
Like,
see
I
Cillian
can see
Murphy
that.
as Jasper. He has that like creepy undertone to him.
Yeah.
Okay, so I actually sent Ava a link to the chat, but she's not replying on Facebook. Oh wait, no, she.
has
Okay, so she said she's having technical difficulties. So all right, if Ava, we're about to end right now, honestly. So if Ava comes in, I'll bring her in, and if not, next time.
Yeah.
Also, I'll link all their Instagrams down below when this goes up, and you can spam her with your love. All right. So last comment goes, Mique, Gabby makes videos. If you like this book, you'll like this. Okay, I actually, to admit, I actually did make a video like that, but it was so bad, and I filmed it on my phone back when I didn't have my new camera, my nice camera, and I had to private it because I was so insecure. But since then, I've read so many books that I think would like make a good double feature with a book. Like if you've seen the film Censor, I think you should watch that if you read Night Film. Great stuff. But yeah, I definitely plan on making another video like that. So if you want that to be one of my next projects, just spam me.
Mm-hmm.
I respond to spamming. I responded when I posted my Summerween vlog and I was reviewing Survive the Night, Monica commented like in caps lock, she was like, I demand a drunk review. And when I get that passion, I just have to make the video, right? So like if there's like a huge demand, I'll make a video because I am indebted to you people. Cillian, Monica ages. Everyone's too old for you. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Relax.
I mean, like, what's the general? Like they're professors, so what's their general age? Isn't it like towards like late, like early?
I don't know. I imagine.
Anyway,
They met with Monica's demon. Oh. Monica's demand. Oh, okay, that makes more sense. I was like, ooh, gonna be lit on the chat. Anyway, I'm really glad that all of you are making friends with each other. Like, if I make a Discord, we should all just like be a happy book club and
it'll be fun.
Every couple weeks, right? Like every couple weeks, every 3 weeks. Like, who says that it has to be once a month? Like, I enjoy talking to you people. I do.
Yeah, exactly. And the fun part is that if we do have like a Discord channel, like we can share even the books that we don't choose to buddy read together.
Yeah, and we can have a voice about what we can have like an audience voice about like what book gets chosen next, right?
Yeah. So you can see that Mique really enjoys like the horror and the mystery. I like fantasy books mostly, and Luche really
I'm more contemporary actually.
Yeah, like contemporary. She's been reading a lot of like Asian authors, and also comments about, for example, feminism. And then you said that you read a book also about the untold truths about pregnancy and being a mom, and so I think that's really. I think like since we do have like a very diverse taste, like it would be interesting to see what reviews we could possibly like.
Yeah, I mean, like I would love to hear suggestions from as many people as possible and have your output reflected on my channel because I mean, without subscribers, my channel, I'd be playing to a dead audience every week, right? And y'all did really well. Okay, so I think I'm gonna end the live show now. But before I leave, the next book will either be in 3 weeks or next month. Well, 3 weeks will be next month, so it'll be at some point. And the it's a choice between. Wait, I have a list. Okay, can you guys talk while I look for the books because I forgot what
Okay.
Okay.
I
It's either
actually
gonna be, it's either going to be Night Bitch by Rachel Yoder, Local Woman Missing by Mary Kubica, or Hairpin Bridge by Taylor Adams. I'm going to announce this on my Instagram later, but those are the 3 picks.
I like those titles.
Yeah.
You can have them
Bitch,
both.
Woman Missing. So those are the 3 books. We can do them all, but like whichever one happens next is whatever happens next. And last word goes to Monica. I went to film school. I know a lot. Not like Charlie from Survive the Night. Roast Charlie. Yes, roast.
Oh my god, I really want to see how bad. Like, don't you just have like books that sometimes you pick up just because you want to see how bad they are? Survive the Night is one of those books. I want to see how bad it really
The thing
is.
is like it's not. Yeah, it's terrible. I'm sorry. I was gonna defend it, but like it's really
I
bad.
thought you were going to defend it for a second.
No, because like I mean, it's a book that I had fun.
Mhm. Oh,
All right.
okay.
We love your demands.
Well,
Like this isn't
I
set in
already have
stone.
the
Like
book.
everyone needs to vote. Also, I'm glad Marina has her copy already. I don't have Instagram. Will you announce it on YouTube too? Yes, Kim. Of course, I'll announce it on YouTube. I got you. I got you. So yeah, those are the books. I am starving. I am very, very hungry. It is an ungodly hour to eat dinner where I am.
Yeah.
So this was so much fun. I love you all. Thank you for sharing your personal stories because this isn't just a book thing. Like we're friends here. You people on the chat are my friends. You people over here are my friends. We're
Yeah, and
besties.
Yeah, especially with everything like going on, I think it's really healthy to have like just like it's a special little club that I get. And
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like this isn't something where we strictly talk about books. Like we're here to fucking hang out, right?
Yeah.
So if the topics
Fun
get
juice.
dark, then
Grab your-
Yeah,
that's what happens.
You
That's
guys are like the
natural-
new friend, the only new friends I've made since
Yeah.
2020.
Right? I mean, like we've been home, we've been stuck in our houses for like almost 2 years now. That's 2 years of our
Yeah.
life. Like this friendship that we have over here on this chat is something that I think we all need, right, to stay sane. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for demanding. This is a democracy, so please like spam me on Instagram about what you want. You're welcome, Kim. You're very welcome. Thank you to everyone who watched. This was super fun. I'm
Thank
gonna
you,
grab some food
guys.
now. Thank
Yeah.
you. And Ava disappeared. She will. She always is the one with the technical difficulties. Oh my gosh, she's so funny. All right,
Yeah, but
everybody,
she'll be back in
please.
the next.
Everybody, please take care of yourselves. This was so much fun. And I will announce on Instagram and on YouTube when. Well, I'll announce the books on both, and then we can pick. And then when we decide which one we'll read next, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank
Chat
you,
soon.
guys.
It was
Bye.
real. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.